Remember the Hyundai Tucson? It was launched back in 2004, well internationally anyways, came to South Africa in 2005. I don't remember it having a very good reputation. In fact, a lot of the people I knew who bought one hated the engine, disliked the interior, and were pretty much just left really unimpressed. Well, except for my one friend who was desperate to have kids at the time and was obsessed with the Hyundai Tucson. But even the reviews at the time weren't exactly complimentary. I think it was Autocar who said something along the lines that the Tucson would do nothing to change Hyundai's image, and that it was entering a segment that was bursting at the seams and certainly wouldn't be able to rival the Toyota RAV4. Fast forward to 2009, and Hyundai replaced the Tucson with the Hyundai iX35, which would go on to become a top seller. South Africa saw more than 33,000 sold. It was only recently surpassed by the Ford Kuga. Hyundai are back with its new generation, but now we go back to calling it a Tucson. Gosh, don't ask why, I can't understand it. They say it is to simplify things and give people a fresh thinking. Okay, fine. So now the name is the same all over the world. Just please Hyundai, stick to this name now. Even the non-blondes might struggle. This new model, no wait, let's call it what it is so you remember the name change. The Tucson is bigger than the iX35 thanks to an increase in length of 65mm, an increased width of 30mm, and 30mm between the axles. It's better looking too, even if a bit aggressive looking. Just look at that profile. Do you also notice the Santa Fe peeking through? Yeah, me too. It's gone from a compact SUV that was somewhat bland looking to this really good looking fella. In fact, I think it's one of the nicest looking within the segment. Look at the chrome trim that decorates the car. Apart from the front, it's rather subtle and adds a touch of class. This front hexagonal grille is now Hyundai's signature look, according to designer Peter Schreier, who you might remember from Audi and then Kia. At the rear, you'll see a more rounded windscreen, larger tail lamps, and the bumper is set higher than on the previous model, which I think it makes it look a little more pokier, which is what you want when you have a nip and tuck, right? Also, if you'd like choice, you'll be happy to know the new Tucson comes in 10 colors, including metallic and pearl colors. Fancy. But where Hyundai really had to step it up was in the cabin, and step it up they did. Hyundai are pretty good at upping the ante on new models, and the Tucson is no different. It feels far more sophisticated than the iX35, which, if I'm honest, wasn't really anything to write home about. This is the top of the range Elite model. There is also the premium and executive trim levels. The Elite model sports this panoramic sunroof, which really does add to the spacious feeling. The center console has been redesigned, and the Elite models boast a large display screen for the new generation navigation system. Other standard features on this Elite model is dual zone air conditioning, a rear view camera display, cruise control, and a host of storage compartments, including the good old sunglass holder. Hop in the back and you'll be happy with the amount of space, especially legroom, and the boot, which boasts a capacity of 513 litres. This could fit a pram or golf clubs, right? Okay, look, I don't have kids and I've never played golf, so I don't have a cooking clue, but I can tell you that it will certainly fit the luggage that I need when going away for a weekend or a week or whatever. If you speak to my fiance, he'll probably disagree. But for those occasions, you can fold the rear seats down and you'll get 1,503 litres. No more arguments. The new Tucson comes with a long list of safety features, and if you're able to afford the top-of-the-range Elite DCT, then you can expect things such as blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert. But don't be discouraged if you're looking at the entry-level Tucson, because you'll still get the rear-view camera, speed-sensitive auto-locking doors, which is a must in this country, remote keyless entry, and then of course driver, passenger, side, and curtain airbag, which I can't really show you because, well, I'd have to crash the car to do that. So what engines will be offered? We saw the 1.7 turbo diesel arrive late in 2014, so I thought that they would bring it down with this generation, but unfortunately not. And we can have our dirty fuel to blame for that. But don't despair, as for the first time in a Hyundai SUV, the turbocharged 1.6T GDI petrol engine is offered. This is what I'm driving now. It has enough low-down torque to overtake fairly easily. It certainly has enough pull up an incline. It's got 130 kilowatts of power and 265 newton meters of torque, and it can be mated to either a 6-speed manual gearbox or the 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is what we're testing right now. Any hesitancy felt in normal driving mode disappears when you switch to sport. Also on offer is the familiar 2-litre naturally aspirated petrol engine which we'll find in the premium models. I think where the Tucson's competitors will have a hold over it is when it comes to fuel consumption, or claimed fuel consumptions. The 2-litre has a claimed consumption of 8.9 litres per 100 kilometres. This 1.6 has a claim of 8.5. The likes of the RAV4 and the Tiguan's hover over between 6 and 7. But who can believe these figures anyway? And I'd rather a manufacturer who would be safe rather than sorry. Pricing might be the one thing that lets the Tucson down. The entry-level one comes in at around 360,000 Rand, whereas you could get yourself a Ford Kuga or RAV4 for under 340,000 Rand. This top-of-the-range Tucson comes in at 500,000 Rand. So look, the choice is yours. But I have no doubt that Hyundai is going to move numbers, if for any reason that it's a massive step up from its original starting point.